Welcome to the final Alliance War of the season. We have Dsvg today, and they banned Silk, Titania, and Hulk. Ghost and Kingpin are globally banned, and let's get into it. Last war of the season, we're out of Masters right now, and we need to win to even have a shot with some docs. So it's an important war. I'm bringing Shuri, Spider-Gwen, and Penny Parker. Initially, I was going to bring in White Magneto for Shuri and take a different path, but after looking at the assignments that Andy and I laid out, it just kind of worked out better to swap some things around. Again, we're trying to, you know, win as much as possible. So first up, we have the Satuma on path 7, and that's why I'm using Shuri. And this basic Shuri fight, I've done this a few times this season. Basically, don't parry, and you know, he doesn't shrug the stun and convert into a concussion, which will actually trigger the node. I did actually want to test something during this fight, and I've always kind of wondered if Shuri will still take contact or damage with her non-contact hits if the node is triggered. I'm just kind of going through with the fights that I do have laid out, which is Path 5 in Section 2, and then again the Sassy boss, or mini boss on a debuff immune. But I wasn't sure if I was going to do it. It was more of a like, how is the shock damage working against Atuma, and if it is, and I see a time to do it, then I will. But basically, I just kind of want to, I want to not parry. I just want to, you know, bait some blocked hits and build up my matrix charges so I can place shocks on him, which will remove any hydration charges that he has, and throw SB1s, which will give me precisions that will guarantee my crits, and she'll hit really hard. And that's essentially what I'm doing. This Atuma's playing real nice. He's throwing full combos into my block. Sure, he's really tanky, so you know, I'm liking that. Here I have about 6 shocks, so I can convert those into precisions. And at this point, I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's do that, and start cooking. And he throws SB1s. I take that on the block, just build another matrix charge, and I throw his SB1. And at this point, I'm like, okay, if I can parry and then eat a heavy just to make sure, and that's exactly what I do. I want to see right here, and boom, I see those red numbers, and I'm like, ooh, okay. Shuri's not going to bypass the node, just bypass his thorns. It's okay, wait it out, and just you know, kill him. It was no danger. I was just something I was curious about. And since he was melting at a good rate, I figured I was full health. I'm not going to use Shuri anymore. I just wanted to see that interaction. So next up, we have this Dragon Man. And on this node, you armor break him if he gets knocked down, which he'll apply a degen. But because Spider-Gwen is tactic, if she applies 3 or more debuffs, 3 debuffs at least, she will mitigate all that damage over time effect. So the plan basically is to spam SB1s to land a Neverate and keep them in the corner, bait some specials. I am going to throw some special 2s. I actually think I throw a special 2 to get rid of the power gain through the stun. So see right here, he is Neverated, but the power gain is still going to kick through, and he can still gain power through that manner. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I need him to throw this special 2, and he does. Oh yeah, I don't end up throwing a special 2 like I thought. I just end up killing him. So that's a pretty simple standard Spider-Gwen Dragon Man fight. She's obviously really good for this tactic. Next up, I have this ManThing on Sadist and on Path 5, and this fight obviously gets scary with a tactic attacker and a tactic defender, because you want to use a tactic attacker to place a lot of debuffs and get a slow on him and stuff like that. But that's going to give him his damage, you know, an increase, and is going to give his poison an increase and stuff like that. Although you will mitigate that poison damage with the debuffs that you place on him. So ManThing can be really tanky with his crit mitigation. So he basically, he doesn't allow you to crit. You still see the yellow numbers, but what happens is that he just doesn't make them any bigger. The yellow numbers are just as big as the white numbers would be. They just happen to be yellow, and that's per his ability. So as this fight is going, I'm actually spamming SB1s. I'm getting some intercepts when I can. I try to just keep him in that corner, and he's slowed pretty much just by me, you know, trying to do that. And at this point, the slow falls off, and he goes unstoppable. But my heavy there, you know, bypasses that unstoppable. So I'm really just kind of like, okay, kind of in this groove, and he's really melting in the first part of this fight. It's about a minute, and he's, you know, halfway down, and I'm like, all right, you know, this ManThing is tanky, and it's ebb and flow intercept, so damage is reduced by 60% when the protection's up. So I'm like, okay, I just need to just kind of keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm gonna, you know, chip away at him. And at this point, I'm like, all right, I'm not really noticing his postules or anything, but you know, I do need Spider-Gwen for another fight, and of course, I'm gonna have to, you know, take some damage to basically heal. He's under 10%, and boom, he goes unstoppable, and I'm like, oh man. And at this point, you know, I'm taking more damage than I'm mitigating and healing from willpower, and I'm just like, okay, just keep knocking him down, get that slow, and I get an intercept here finally to end the fight. But it's just annoying. I really didn't want to use any potions. I thought those first two Spider-Gwen fights were going to be, you know, clean. We had Enzo take that Absman with a torch. I was going to take it with Spider-Gwen, but he had a rank 5 torch. So shout out to Enzo for taking that, and then dropping a Wags pre-fight for this Sassy. And this Sassy, Munasha Sassy right here. So I've taken this a few times, and you know, I did the math. He has 460, you know, 5,000 HP. Spider-Man does about 75k with her SB3 and red damage. So I need to get this Sassy about 16%, around 16% if I want the SB3 to kill, right? Obviously, if I can get the Fury and I'm doing combos, I can do other stuff. I can kill him without the SB3, but that's kind of like my safety net. And as this fight is kind of going on, I'm really just, you know, I'm just kind of getting him in that corner, throwing my SB1s to really, you know, keep him ineverated if I can when the debuff immunity falls off. But it's not really, you know, something that I'm counting on. Here he goes into Wrath, and man, those blocked hits in Wrath really kind of hurt. Those are all 3k blocked hits, and I'm just like, ah. So at this point, you know, I drop a special one, get the Fury up from the protection being down, and she's doing good damage here. I do need him to throw this SB2. I just don't want to take any of that in the block, because obviously the prowess is there. The protection basically falls off, and all right, I knock him down to make it fall off. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm thinking about my finish. I'm like, all right, he has 4 stacks of Wrath, you know, it's beefy, Sassy right here. I need to get to an SB3, and I'm really thinking about, like, what am I gonna do here? So I choose to knock him down, and he throws this SB1, and I'm really kind of looking at his health bar and his regen. He's regenerating about 1k a tick, so about 2k a second, and I'm like, all right, for the damage math that I did, I need him to go into Wrath around that percentage that I wanted, and boom, he goes into Wrath, and he's at 21%. But I was looking at everything, and he stuns me because I don't dex the last hit, and then I like a fool, I go at him and I hit him, and he goes unstoppable, and I'm like, okay, right there I hit him once just to get some damage. But now I'm like, just dex in the corner. I've done this plenty of times fighting Sassy, so just dex in the corner, wait it all out, and then see where he's at. Let Despair kind of handle some of the regen a little bit. I do want to push him back, beating his block right here, see if he throws a special 2, and boom, he does. So I do a combo into my relic, and here I'm going to knock him down, and he's under 16%, which is the magic number, and he is going to die. That kind of got out of hand. My worst Sassy fight, I think, all season. but ultimately it was still fine. Just was not happy with that at all. But we did end up winning the war. So shout out to Dsvg. I got some buddies over there, so wish them well. We didn't get masters, so that sucks. Shout out to Karate Mike, Andrew, and B McG for the MVPs. But we are gonna do better next season. So we'll be back in masters, I have no doubt. Now looking at the final stats of my season, I had 54 total fights. I did not die this season, and I had a wide range of champs actually. You see the first half, Sandman, Omega Sentinel, OG Iron Man. Then it kind of shifted to a really Spider-Gwen heavy. That's when I R2'd her in War 7, 8-ish. I think 7 I R2'd her, but I still brought in Sandman. And then 8, I used her for a couple fights and kind of went from there. So she ended up surprising me a lot. I liked her way back when I was first kind of growing my account. And then as I got more, other champions and stuff like that, I got away from using her. And then, Karate Mike started using her early this season and was, pumping her up. And I was like, man, I already like her. I should rank her up. I think I was using Sandman a little bit more because I ranked him up before the season. And it just felt like I should R4 him. I mean, I did R4 him for a reason, so I used him. But man, the more I use Spider-Gwen, I really like using her with this tactic. She did really, really well, and she took a lot of hard fights. And with some of the fights that I used her for, she didn't even need to take the protection down. Like with the Kindreds on the protections, I just basically hit him and kept my withers up and my debuffs up and didn't have to worry about his nightmare outbreak. So she obviously took the most amount of fights, 15. This is the first season I didn't use Professor X. I still use Wags on attack, but I did not use Professor X this season. I did want to use him against Sassy. I think I could have, but nobody let me. You can see here that we went 6-6 on the season, which typically gets you masters. But I believe Kabam did something weird with expanding tier 1 or something. I don't know. There was just a weird number of alliances that were, I think, tier 1 just based off the point totals. I'm not really sure. But that was my season, and I think we can build on it. Obviously a new tactic. I'm looking forward to next season. And playing with the guys in BG3. Shout out to them for dealing with all my constant tags and asking for war videos, the war porn that I call. Basically, I love to see our fights. So we'll see you guys next season. I'll probably be posting some content because there's a bunch of stuff I have to do. And I'll see you guys in the next one.